Hello there, you're now with me, Handy Gui, for TVS English News at 5. Let us begin with our top story. Gabungan Party Sarawak Chief Whip Dr. Sri Fadila Yusof rebutted a statement made by Party Bumi Kenyalang PBK President Voon Lee Shan, telling Sarawakians to weaken GPS and not to vote for GPS in the GE15, as it was based on his twisted idea and utter nonsense. And that his statement, saying a strong federal government does not benefit Sarawak, simply does not make any sense. Fadila, however, assured that Sarawak will have a stronger and more assertive voice in its demand in Parliament in the event that the coalition wins big in the upcoming GE15, while securing its position in the federal government and thus contributing to Malaysia's political stability.
Fadila pointed out GPS's track record has proven that a strong bloc of MPs from GPS in the federal government has led to more benefits to Sarawak. Additionally, he said Sarawak has the strength in terms of a strong government which focuses on administration, providing assistance to the people, and finding ways to increase the state's revenue. Hence, he called upon the people to continue to be united in ensuring that Sarawak can influence the implementation of any policy at the federal level.
Now, the Ministry of Infrastructure and Port Development MIPD will be reviewing the work process of the Public Works Department JKR Sarawak as part of the state government's effort to minimize the occurrence of sick projects. Its Minister, Dr. Amar Douglas Ugah Embas, stressed that efforts need to be enhanced to resolve the 60-week sick projects within 3 years from now.
Ugah, who is also the Deputy Premier, stressed the importance of speeding the development process of these projects, as there are about 30 to 40 projects that are currently in critical condition. He spoke during his keynote address at the Department Senior Officers Conference on Monday, October 17th. Ugah added that one of the issues that caused the sick projects was in the selection of the contractors. As such, the right or reputable contractors must be engaged. In this regard, Ugah suggested that there should be a seminar to discuss on the mechanism for JKR to get capable contractors to implement the projects. As such, the minister hopes that such a seminar can be organized before the end of the year. On another matter, Ugah emphasized that infrastructure development plays a crucial role in the implementation of the state's post-COVID-19 Development Strategy 2030 or PCDS 2030. As one of the pillars of the strategy, infrastructure development is still an issue to be addressed for Sarawak to be a developed and high-income state by 2030. Ugah further stated that Sarawak still requires over 7,000 kilometers of road to connect every village or settlement from Lundu to Limbang. Adding further, he said being accountable and having high integrity was another challenge for the department, among others.
Now, the plan to establish a single water authority to manage and regulate water supply throughout the state could be materialized within the next 2 years. The authority, which will be a statutory body, is now in the midst of a study on legal framework, among others by the Ministry of Utility and Telecommunication and experts. As such, Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said an ordinance will have to be tabled in the State Assembly to form the authority that will merge the different water boards in the state.
He told reporters after giving a keynote address at the opening of the Borneo International Water and Wastewater Exhibition and Conference 2022 at the Imperial Hotel Kuching. In addition, he said the Kuching and Cebu water boards, Laku Water Management Sendirian Berhad, and other water authorities in Sarawak will be merged under a single water authority. He said the authority will be entrusted to implement the Sarawak water supply grid system. Adding to that, he said the authority will also control water boards at the dams. Meanwhile, when pressed to give a timeline for the single water entity to be set up, the Premier said it would not take long as the model would be similar to that of Sarawak Energy Berhad. Giving further assurance, Abang Johari added that as long as Gabungan Party Sarawak GPS remains as the government of the day, the plan will be released.
In the past 2 years, the Sarawak Tribe Legacy Campaign, organized by Business Events Sarawak, BESarawak, has successfully attracted 145 business events. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Dato Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah said the organized events have generated around 385.5 million ringgit for the economy.
In addition, it has also opened various job opportunities for the people.
From 2020 until today, under the Tribe Legacy Sarawak campaign, Sarawak successfully secured 145 events that is generating a total economic impact of Ringgit Malaysia 385.5 million. Direct delegate expenditure will inject Ringgit Malaysia 209.5 million into the economy. Ringgit Malaysia 23.1 million in tax revenue and provide 30,594 jobs to Sarawakians. Well done.
Meanwhile, BESarawak Chief Executive Officer Emilia Rosiman said more events will be organized by December.
More than 100 this year, and we are still working on it until end of December. About 40 more events left. Yeah, but in terms of a lot, even for next year, actually, for the convention center and the hotels, it's a bit hard to find a space now because there's a lot of events going on. And
BESarawak has organized various events, including the Corporate Social Responsibility Program, Books Bill Legacy, which is a program to donate books to make education accessible in rural areas. So far, BESarawak has won 5 international marketing awards, including 2 silver awards at the Hollywood Gold Awards and Milan Gold Awards.
An elderly couple were injured after the vehicle they were travelling in was involved in a 3-vehicle collision along Jalan Batukawa this morning. Eyewitnesses said it was a failed attempt by the victim's car in avoiding an excavator on the left lane, which caused the lorry on the right lane to have limited time to respond, resulting in a multi-vehicle collision after the lorry rear-ended the compact car.
A statement from the Fire and Rescue Department Bomba said the 66-year-old man and 68-year-old woman were extricated by members of the public from the car wreck. Both victims suffered injuries and were rushed by ambulance to the Sarawak General Hospital SGH, while the lorry driver did not suffer any injuries. No other casualties were reported.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob has assured qualified local contractors that they will get the best opportunity to develop national projects, thus refuting various allegations that the allocation of development expenditure of 95 billion ringgit in the 2023 budget will only benefit certain parties.
Ismail Sabri further reiterated that the government that he leads today will always prioritize the development of infrastructure to benefit Malaysians. He said it so at the opening ceremony of the Malay Contractors Convention 3.0 and the 43rd Annual General Meeting of the Malay Contractors Association Malaysia on October 18. On October 7, the government tabled the budget 2023 amounting to 372.3 billion ringgit, which is the largest in the country's history that focuses on the well-being of the people, business continuity, economic prosperity, and the efficiency of government services. The budget also allocates as much as 95 billion ringgit for development expenditure, which is the highest in history, including as many as 7,615 development projects. Other than that, Budget 2023 also provides various specific initiatives for G1 to G4 class contractors with an allocation of 500 million ringgit to carry out maintenance works on federal roads, small bridges and bridges, houses of worship and infrastructure damaged by floods. Meanwhile, in the government's effort to support Bumiputra contractors, Ismail Sabri said the government will also provide short-term financing to the contractors involved in fields such as electrical and construction through the Express Contract Financing Scheme or SPIKE, with funds amounting to 20 million ringgit. The 2023 budget will need to be retabled before year-end in view of the dissolution of Parliament on October 10, paving the way for the 15th general election.
To create a competitive environment for both foreign and domestic direct investment, Malaysia has agreed to implement the two-pillar approach in taxation. And according to Finance Minister Tengku Dato Sri Zafrul Tengku Abdul Aziz, the approach prevents cross-border tax evasion. At present, the approach is being studied thoroughly and will tentatively be implemented in 2024.
The two-pillar approach refers to the Base Erosion and Profit Shifting 2.0 initiative spearheaded by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development and G20. The approach would complement one of the government targets for small and medium enterprises under the 12th Malaysia Plan in digitalizing 90% of SMEs operation by 2025. He said this in his keynote speech at the 51st Study Group on Asia-Pacific Tax Administration and Research Annual Meeting 2022 today.
Now on to some global affairs. Liz Truss made an official apology for putting the United Kingdom in a financial crisis amidst a global inflation through her tax cut program. The British Prime Minister, along with Kwasi Kwarteng, the former British Finance Minister, had attempted to upend the country's fiscal policy by unveiling £45 billion of unfunded tax cuts to revive UK's economy.
This has caused investors to flee while borrowing costs spiked, prompting the Bank of England to intervene with a bond buying program that cost £65 billion.
Now, I recognise we have made mistakes. I'm sorry for those mistakes, but I've fixed the mistakes. I've appointed a new Chancellor. We have restored economic stability and fiscal discipline. And what I now want to do is go on and deliver for the public. We were elected on the 2019 manifesto. I'm determined to deliver on that.
Truss was recently appointed as the Premier less than 6 weeks ago, but is already facing a possible revolt from lawmakers as soon as this week. Even so, she remains steadfast in delivering the energy package, which is slated to stabilise energy costs in the UK.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news update both locally and internationally. Just head on to our official website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. Those were the updates on TVS News at 5. I'm Handy Gui. Thank you for watching.